As their plans evolve, local organizers for the Boston Olympics have been coming out with some new details. Part of that is an idea for using a park in Dorchester as a venue for tennis competition. As it turns out, tennis players have been going to Harambe Park for decades. To tell us about the possibilities for 2024 and beyond is the executive director of the Sportsmen's Tennis and Enrichment Center, Toni Wiley. Thank you very much for being with us, Toni.
Thank you for the invitation.
First of all, talk about the people who have been coming to this center over the years. This is quite a mix of people you have coming in.
Absolutely. Well, Sportsman's was built in order to provide access to quality tennis instruction for residents of the inner city. So we regularly reach out to the Dorchester, Roxbury, Mattapan communities with outreach to the schools and community centers in that area. But actually, people come to Sportsman's from all over Greater Boston and beyond. We are a very welcoming, very inclusive environment. People like the fact that their tennis dollars go far at our club because we provide so many free resources for youth and families. So they know that even though they may be driving by another club to get to Sportsman's, they know that the dollar that they're spending on a court reservation or a lesson is multiplied throughout the community.
Well, this is a place for people who love tennis, who are gifted in tennis, but I guess this is also a ladder of opportunity.
It really is. The club was founded, again, with the belief that tennis would open up doors of opportunities for youth, and those opportunities would include college scholarships and then being able to sort of move beyond the realm of what they might have felt was possible. But we recognized that kids weren't necessarily coming out of the facility and out of the schools ready to approach college from all perspectives. So we began our college readiness program. We moved our college readiness program to begin all the way back at the 6th grade. So that from that point on, within our facility, kids are already beginning to think about what it's going to take for them to be ready for college. We want them to understand that their education is cumulative, that you can't suddenly wake up in the 11th grade and decide, well, I guess I should start getting ready for college. So we start them having discussions about what career paths they find interesting, what educational experiences they need to have to be ready for that, and how to guide them along that path. So we have K through 12 academics, we have social development programs, and then all of these concepts are woven into everything we do, from tennis right through the summer camps and the like.
And what's it like for, especially for a younger person coming in there, and you see these people who have something in common with you, they're older, they're talking about college and all these other things. It must change their whole perspective.
Well, you know, tennis is a great equalizer because once you get out on the court, whether you're learning, whether you are someone who's been playing for a while, we find a way to connect on court and then have that dialogue about what was today like for you? What are you looking to do? What's working well for you? What do you enjoy? And it gives us a way to learn how children communicate and how they grow and how they learn. And then we take what we learn on the courts and we apply that in the classroom. We apply it to their lives. Well,
of course, you're in the news because of this Olympics concept, maybe not quite a plan so far, but it's about having an Olympics facility there. It looks as if there's going to be some interim of disruption and maybe some long-term benefits from this.
That's correct. Well, you know, I live in the area. I can see Harambe Park from my front porch. So I'm very much aware that while the construction is happening, which I think they said would be the 6 to 8 months before the games actually begin, yes, there'll be congestion, there'll be traffic. That congestion translates into construction jobs for people that need those jobs. So I'm certainly happy about that. But the reality is that in the long run, they're looking to make an investment in Harambe Park that I certainly have not seen in quite some time. In addition to leaving Harambe Park and leaving Sportsmen's with access to a stadium court that would allow us to have college matches there, would allow us to have other ITF matches there, they're also talking about leaving a high-quality athletic field there with a measured track and bleachers. If you drive down Talbot Avenue, if you go by Harambe Park on the weekends or in the evenings, you'll see that there's soccer, there's lacrosse, there's football.
And cricket, too.
And cricket, lots of cricket. And all of those sports will benefit from the permanent investment that would happen in Harambe Park.
What about what will be the benefit for people at the Sportsman's Tennis Club and Enrichment Center?
Well, for us, as you know, we work with hundreds, actually thousands of young people throughout the course of the year. So there are a number of benefits that are both tangible and intangible. Certainly the tangible benefit, as we've mentioned, if they leave a stadium court, if that allows us to generate more revenue, that allows us to then reinvest that into the community in the form of scholarships, in the form of free programs for youth, those would all benefit the greater community. But additionally, we work very hard to have our kids understand that anything you want in life, you've got to work for. You've got to work very hard for it. And it doesn't start the day before you get on stage. It starts often years before in the background when nobody can see what you're doing. So for them to have an opportunity to see in their own communities, not only with the tennis, but with all of the games being in Massachusetts, for them to be able to see people that have reached the pinnacle that they were striving for there to be opportunities for them to interact with these athletes, that would be huge, I think, for our community and for all the communities of Boston.
Talk about that a little bit more, because it sounds like we're talking about some kind of volunteering or internship possibilities.
Well, I'm simply saying, you know, this discussion that goes way beyond where we are right now. But I would think that if all of these athletes come to Massachusetts, that people will create opportunities for them to interact with the youth of all of these various organizations. So when we were hosting our $50,000 USTA tournament, which we hope to resume at some point in the future, we always found ways for the athletes to interact with the kids and for the kids to see just how much practice and how much dedication these athletes had to put in. And so I'm suggesting that for most of us, we're not going to have an opportunity to travel to where the Olympics are being played unless there is another time when they do land in the United States. Most of us are not going to be able to fly around the world and put ourselves up in an international location and see the Olympic Games. So if this is an opportunity for New Englanders, for other people here in the United States to be able to get here, see some of these games up front, perhaps participate in something afterwards that involves the athletes, I think that would be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Should ask you, of course, in the much nearer future, what's up this summer?
Well, as usual, summer camp. We have 3 different summer camps that take place at Sportsman's. We have a traditional camp, which has obviously more tennis than most camps, but kids also swim every day. They have field trips. Then we have our tournament training camp, which is for kids that are already competing in tournaments and looking to move their game to the next level. And then we have our summer learning project, which is a partnership with the Boston Public Schools. We're also very excited that last week we launched the Brigham and Women's Community Wellness Center at Sportsman's, which is a group of 5 classrooms and a fitness center, all of which are available for public use. And AstraZeneca, which is one of the lead partners in this program, has hired a registered nurse who's going to serve as what they're calling a population health manager. She'll be coming through the center and coming through other locations in the Dorchester-Roxbury community and providing information on wellness, on cardiovascular wellness, on preventing cardiovascular disease, on smoking cessation and weight loss, and all the things that really are needed in our community free of charge. So
we should mention, people want to find out more about this. What's the best way to check that out?
Go to our website, sportsmanstennis.org, or stop by the club. We're open 7 days a week.
Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you.
Toni Wiley from the Sportsman's Tennis and Enrichment Center. We'll have more news in just a moment.